Hey guys, welcome back to the Second Time Lucky Mining channel. In today's quick video, we are going to continue our series on understanding or learning more about Ergo, and more specifically, we are going to take a look at Ergopad. If you like the Ergo content, please like the video and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. That will help me out a great deal. But enough of shelling my channel, let's jump into the content. Now, if you're new to the series and potentially even the channel, welcome to the Second Time Lucky Mining channel. In this video, I will continue the series of exploring the Ergo ecosystem. So if you're unfamiliar and you haven't watched some of my previous videos, this is going to be part 3 of the series, and I am going to take a look specifically at Ergopad. Now, what the hell is Ergopad? And the way that I like to look at it, at least, is an incubator or a launchpad. Now, exactly what is a launchpad or an incubator? It's really a project or a team looking to help other teams build on the Ergo ecosystem. They potentially have experience, and you see it in the real world also. You have teams that are specifically or knowledgeable around small businesses, and then they potentially could help projects or ideas or small businesses get off the ground. And that's really what Ergopad is. And what do Ergopad offer, at least for a project that wants to build on the Ergo ecosystem? And looking at it, the way that I understand it is they would potentially help a new project with marketing, they would help them with funding, and then potentially developing on the blockchain. So they have obviously done it before. They have a marketing team, and this is why potentially, if you are a builder or new to the Ergo ecosystem, you would go and speak to Ergopad potentially to help you with your project. And that's really what an incubator is there for. It's really to help you get off the ground and get you up and going as soon as possible and in the right direction. Now, I'm not an expert on the Ergopad ecosystem, so if you know of anything more that the Ergopad ecosystem does, please specify in the comments and help educate me. If you haven't watched some of my previous videos, I'm just a miner trying to understand the Ergo ecosystem. Now, specifically this video, I'm going to have a look at the Ergopad ecosystem and see what their website and what you can do. But more specifically, if you remember in the previous video or part 2, I swapped some Ergo into Ergopad. In today's video, I'm going to take that Ergopad and actually stake it on Ergopad and hopefully earn some more Ergopad in the process. Now, enough talking about Ergopad. Let's jump on the computer and have a look at their website and potentially staking some Ergopad.
Okay, so here we go on the computer. Now, I've got the Ergopad website open, and I'll leave a link in the video description in case you wanted to go and have a look. But here you can see, here's exactly what Ergopad website looks like. And looking at the first statement here is exactly sort of, at least what I tried to explain. It's a launchpad or platform that gives you the opportunity to get involved in some of these IDOs, but also helps these projects get off the ground. Now, if you scroll a little bit further down here, you can see they provide funding, marketing, and blockchain development. Some of the upcoming projects, there's only the one here. I've actually had a look at this Azores, and I'm not sure if I'm saying it correctly, but it looks like a visualization tool for transactions on the blockchain. So it actually looks quite interesting. Now, looking at some of the other menus here at the top, I'm just going to select the dashboard here, and as you can see, I've got actually nothing in here at the moment. So I suspect that's because I haven't connected my wallet. So I'll come back a little bit later here and have a look at the dashboard once we've done the staking. Now, the other thing that I wanted to go and have a look at is specifically the white paper here. And feel free to go and have a look and read through it in your own time. But I wanted to point out some of the stuff that I find interesting or that I wanted to have a look at, specifically what I'm going to do today. Now, if I scroll a little bit down, talks about the philosophy, the tokenomics. So that's also obviously important. So as you can see here, the total supply is 400 million Ergopad. They had the market cap of 800k SIG USD. The initial supply was about 20 million. Now, if I go a little bit down here, the vesting schedule. So that's sort of what's important for me, at least. So here you can see all the various seed rounds. Again, that nothing to do with me now. I'm too late for that. But specifically here at the staking component. So as you can see, the majority of the supply here of the 400 million goes towards staking. And as you can see, the rewards are calculated daily for 36 months. So I suspect that after 36 months, you won't be able to earn any more Ergopad. So that's why I'm specifically doing this. And if you have a look at this year, if I scroll a little bit down, you can see that the staking sort of activated in January 26. Now, I'm not sure exactly which year that is, if it's this year or last year. At the very least, I'm going to expect it was last year. The other thing that I'm actually finding quite interesting here is specifically the tiers. So these tiers depends on how much Ergopad you have staked. Now, depending on the tier that you have staked, you will be able to do a allocation in case there's a new IDO, or at least that's how I understand it. Again, if I am understanding it incorrectly, please specify in the comments, but this would give you an allocation weighting in case you are interested in some of the new IDOs that will be launched through the Ergopad ecosystem on the Ergopad or on the Ergo platform. Now, the other thing that I find interesting here is the token emissions. So if I scroll a little bit down here, you can see here 440 million Ergopad tokens. We've talked about that. And 320 of that will be released via staking over 3 years. Now, as you can see here, the APY will be based on the number of tokens that is staked and then calculated on a daily basis. So that's sort of where the token emission comes in. Now, if I just move a little bit further down, and this is the other thing that I found interesting, is the early unstaking fees. Now, if you stake on the Ergopad ecosystem here, you can withdraw your funds, but there's a 25% fee if it's within 2 weeks, 20% between 2 and 4, and so the scale goes. Anything after 8 weeks, there will be no fees. Now, what I found very interesting here is the actual fees for this doesn't go to the Ergopad ecosystem or dev fund or whatever you want to call it. It actually get burned. Now, what that means is it reduces the supply. So anybody that needed to extract their Ergopad early, and within these, the fees would actually be burned. So the total supply of Ergopad will actually become less in case people start withdrawing earlier. Now, a quick look of some of the other projects that has launched here. So I'm just going to select projects, and this is where you'll find the upcoming IDOs. But if you have a look at some of the cool stuff that they've launched so far, a lot of these things I actually don't know about. So, and hopefully I can explore it throughout the series. Ergopad, Swamp, Audio, all of these things I haven't even looked at. Now, what I'm interested in is Auction House. So we'll have a look at Auction House and Spectrum Finance. So we've actually obviously used Spectrum Finance in the previous video, and I am keen to have a look at Auction House next. Now, what I actually want to go ahead and do next is the actual staking. So I'm going to select staking here at the top. And as you can see, choose the token that you wanted to stake, Ergopad. There's a couple of other stuff interesting that you can actually go ahead and stake. Here you can see the total number of stakers, total coins staked, and the current APY. So I normally get a bit skittish if I see these type of high API numbers, but I'll have a look and see. And again, I don't have a lot of Ergopad, but I'll just stick it in to understand and learn through the Ergo ecosystem. Now, I'm not saying, and this is not financial advice, I'm not saying you should be doing this. This is just me trying to understand or learning about the Ergo ecosystem. Now, I'm just going to quickly have a look at the terms and conditions here. I know it's boring, but I like to have a look at it. Here you can see by using this website, you'll take your tokens on the Ergo blockchain, except that you're interacting with a smart contract and the website has no control over. And that's the thing that you need to remember when you're interacting with DeFi. Generally speaking, you will place your funds or your tokens or whatever have you in a smart contract. Now, the other thing that they clearly say here, the operators of the website accepts no liability whatsoever in relation of the use of the smart contract. So it's important that we look at these type of things. The other thing that I find interesting here, please take note that the minimum of 10 Ergopad tokens should be staked. Fewer won't work. So there's just a limit on the amount of Ergopad tokens that you can stake. Now, if you remember back, what I did is I took 10 Ergo and I swapped it into Ergopad. So that's sort of where my Ergopad tokens came from. Specifically, I just swapped 10 Ergo, which is not a lot. It was at the time when I swapped it about $15. And that's really what I'm going to go and stake here. So, I'm accepting the risk of staking my $15 at the time worth of Ergopad on the Ergopad platform. Okay, now that I've read anything and I understand it, I'm going to tick the box and say I've accepted, and I'm going to click stake now. Now, what you can see here, there isn't anything selected here. It doesn't know any of my addresses or anything like that. So what I'm going to do is just stop there and select connect wallet. It's going to ask me which wallet do I want to connect. And again, if you've watched the part 1 series, I've got a Nautilus wallet here. So I'm just going to select that. And as you can see here, it pops up on the right, opens up my Nautilus wallet. And as you can see here, I've got my Ergo Education Fund here. So I'm just going to select that, select connect. And what would happen now is my wallet is specifically connected to the Ergopad ecosystem. So I'm just going to close this window, and then again, I'm going to hit stake now. So I'm just going to select stake now. Automatically, as you can see here, it's populated my Ergo address. And then I'm just going to say the max amount. And as you can see, within my wallet, I had 2,169.95 cents or .95 Ergopad. I'm just going to stake the whole lot. So I'm just going to select that to stake with my desktop wallet. Give it a second. And as you can see, it's now popped up on my Nautilus wallet again. It's going to ask, are you sure you want to do this? And as you can see here, I would be staking and there's a transaction fee associated to it. So I'll just go and populate my password. Once I populated my password here, you can see at the bottom, I get a transaction that has been submitted. Now, what I suspect is going to happen is, if you're unfamiliar, the Ergo blockchain, there's a block about every 2 minutes, and we just need to be a little bit patient and wait for this transaction to actually be processed. If you wanted to go and have a look at it, you can select it on this link here, but I'm just going to be a little bit patient. After waiting patiently and having a look at the Explorer, and I can close that here, after refreshing, I can see that my staked Ergopad is now popping up. Now, what I'm quite interested in is if I go now to the dashboard. So if you remember previously when I went to the dashboard, there was actually nothing there. So if I just go to the dashboard here, and hopefully now that I've linked my wallet here, it will actually pop up. And as you can see here, my wallet holdings is now $70. And that's actually down since I started here. And then you would see here the portfolio history. I don't have any NFTs, and it has a look at my assets. Now, I'm not sure what this is and how it got into my wallet, to be honest. It's a token here. I'll just open up my Nautilus wallet so you can see it nicely here. This token just popped up in my wallet. I don't know from where or who sent it or where it came from, but anyway, I've got 500 of whatever this thing is in my wallet. But that's really how easy it is to stake your Ergopad. As I mentioned, it's really easy. For me, it's not a lot of money. It's just $15 at the time to stake, or that's the $15 that I'm going to stake. But again, you should evaluate your risk. I personally wouldn't do this with all of my funds. I'm just doing this to practice or learn more about the Ergo ecosystem, and specifically in this video, the Ergopad ecosystem.
That's it for this video, guys. If you've liked the video, please like the video and maybe even consider subscribing to the channel. If you didn't, please specify in the comments what you would like me to change. Otherwise, I'll catch you in the next one. Cheers.